right, here we go. I made an app, a web app with Cloud Code. It's very exciting. It's a lot of fun. It's called Sleep Suivour. It comes from my obsession, I should say, with improving my sleep quality as of 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and as well as improving my eating habits and especially implementing fasting in the last 6 7 months, where I've lost 20 pounds, 30 pounds, um, and matching it with my excitement about AI and coding and gaming, which Runescape is going to be a huge word being thrown around a lot here. So sleep, sweep hour. Very cool. Cloud Code enabled me to create this with no formal training, no training at all. Just made the app, and then I made a showcase app for the app that I made, which is really cool. I love that now I can move on to just using Cloud Code even when making presentations instead of using Canva or PowerPoint, etc., etc. This is really, really cool and really, really awesome. So Sleep Sweep Hour, right? Gamified health tracking. I wanted to just show you a little bit of an intro before we go into the actual app. So it's just about health, but gaming and keeping it fun. It's about tracking as well. Sleep quality. I included power ups. I have a health bar. Obviously, it's synchronized, so you can use it in any applications. I did the sign in with Google, learning a lot there with Firebase and GitHub and all that stuff. I still, it's really hard for me to talk about exactly what happened and how it's being done because Claude is taking care of that. I do have to debug it sometimes and going in. I think I'm at like 96 commits on GitHub, which for me seems like a huge number. But I don't know if that's how that matches with the rest of the coding world. But yeah, and I added a Slayer system and I added two monsters, Visceral Fat Beast and the Insulin Dragon. And it's really, really cool, right? It's relating to things that fasting and sleeping are supposed to help with and improve, especially in these times where obesity is a huge issue. Some people have referred to it as an epidemic. And I think sleeping habits, I think we know with all the light pollution. I mean, I'm doing it right now. I have like 5 screens in front of me, but this is a way for me to kind of express what I've been doing on my own through coding, and this has been made possible by Cloud Code, by AI, by coding agents, and it's such an easy and fun thing to do that I now want to share it with the rest of my network, with the rest of my friends, and I have been bugging a lot of people about this. So you're gonna get bugged too, whoever you are. So how do you play, right? You start the fasting, you log the power-ups, you watch the monsters fall, and then you track it. And I've also included a leaderboard as well. Um, there's a living life mode, which I know I'm not super stable, or not stable. I'm not super consistent with Cloud Code. Sorry, I woke up at 5 a.m. today to work on this, and it's 9 a.m. now. But I'm not super consistent with my fasting and sleeping habits because life gets in the way. You're stressed out, you're sick. Maybe you have a gathering, celebrations, things of that nature that you can't really be perfect with it. And I've never intended to be perfect with the fasting and sleeping, but I wanted that to be conveyed in the application as well. Living life mode. This is where you take a break and there's no tracking and it won't count towards your statistics or any of that matter because it's just my philosophy and the way that I work. So again, features, right? We already spoke about the monsters and how to play. So I'm gonna hit play now, and it's gonna take us to the app. But I added a feature because there's a really cool feature that I think is really important, and it's a fun little quirky thing. And these are kind of things that Cloud Code is enabling me to do. And Cloud Code and Anthropic is kind of the theme a little bit on top of RuneScape as well. But here we go. Play now.
Some players who are YOLOing, who pull the wrist dial too far, and I'm very concerned.
Who is YOLOing?
So that's a question I'm not going to answer.
So for those of you who don't recognize that voice, that's the voice of Dario Amodei at a conference. I think it was New York Times conference a few months ago. So a few months ago, meaning end of 2025. So November, I think it would have been. I'll show it again in the app. So this is the app. As you can see, and it's available on mobile as well. Right now I'm showcasing it on Mac OS. But before we go into me being signed in and showing you what I have, I want to actually use the incognito version of it. The reason why is because it gives the entrance to it, right? I know I made a showcase and that now this the showcase was for the video, but this is what the user is going to see. So there's a welcome screen and a bit of a tutorial which you can skip, but I'm just going to quickly go through it, just what you would see. And then you start, and then you sign in, etc., etc. But before you sign in, like if you just want to play around with it and just touch it, this is what it looks like. We have Sui, the sleep god, playing off of the name every time you start or stop a fast. And then after you stop a fast, how do you feel, right? And then we've got sleep, and there's some guides here, and we got the Sui who gives quotes for when you start sleeping, right? And it's also adapted with timestamps, but I'm not gonna go into all the details because I've gotten very obsessive over this, like I do with everything. So there's a lot to it, and also when you sleep, technically you can't click on everything else. It's little things like that I've always thought about other apps and other things that I'd like to see, but I couldn't make the change, right? I'm not a program, I can't make my own app, but here I can, right? It's my own app and I'm doing it, and it's so cool that it's possible. So if I start the fasting, and then I go to some of the power-ups, you got hot water, right? And you've got exercise, tea, coffee, and you can level up as well. I think I missed it there. Let's get it again. So graduation, you just advance the hydration level. So things of that nature. There's a hunger tracker, how you're feeling, and you can sort of watch it back. And then here's the Slayer, the cool tab that is still being developed, and we got the Visceral Fat Monster, Instant Resistance Dragon, and there's a history to it, and statistics, leaderboard, these are your skills, and at the bottom. So I'm going to stop showing it there now. I'm going to go to my live account, which is very messed up. It hasn't recorded my past few days that I have been using it because I've been testing with it and doing different things. But this is what it looks like. We got the hard points, 16 out of 100. And I forgot to showcase the YOLO, which we noticed earlier. So YOLO is a feature, right? When you only live once, kind of living life, you don't want to do any of the tracking. You click on it and you click YOLO.
Some players who are YOLOing, who pull the wrist dial too far, and I'm very concerned.
Who is YOLOing?
So that's a question I'm not going to answer.
And there you go. So this is the conference, Deal Book Summit. So that's a little fun thing. Like there's little things like there everywhere throughout this app, and things that are particular to me. So I kind of make this app for me. I don't know if it's gonna make sense for you or what you're using, but I think I just want to share it, and that's all it really is. So I've got this fasting started, and it's giving me the timestamp, and if I go for a walk. I've also included, this was really important to include, a talk to doctor power up pretty much in everywhere, because I'm not a medical licensed physician, right? Doctors should be consulted when you're making any lifestyle changes in terms of sleeping, fasting, and eating. And I know this sounds like a silly thing. Everyone, sleeping, really changing sleep. This is a game, this is an application. I just don't want anyone to get confused with this being medical advice. It's not medical advice. It's a game mixed with, reality and wellness, but you are responsible for your wellness. So please ensure that you're getting checked out before you make any changes, right? There are things out there that this game cannot know about you. So yeah, this is pretty much it. It's very exciting. I'm very happy with it. So this is a view of the leaderboards. Have I not signed in? No, I am signed in. Okay, I'm having an issue. So this is in real time. I gotta fix this. I've been going back and forth with this. For some reason, it keeps not keeping the leaderboard. But that's something for me to take away and learn about. But this is the app, essentially 9 minutes of me talking through it a lot. So I'll stop there. Thank you so much for your time, and have a good one.